Happi House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff. Today on the Happi House, we are revisiting some of our favorite projects at Tonkadale Greenhouse with Jessie. We are back at Tonkadale Greenhouse with Master Gardener Jessie, and we're learning how to create our own butterfly sanctuaries.
As the fruit ripens, it releases a gas called ethylene gas. That's just what fruit does. That attracts the butterfly to the fruit.
And then we're going microgreen. I'm back at Tonkadale Greenhouse with Jessie, learning all about these delicious plants. And finally, learn how to make this adorable bird feeder wreath. Stay tuned. A lot of times when I get here, I don't really know what we are doing, and I know the name of the project, but I don't know exactly what it is. So I came here and was completely mystified by what we were going to possibly do to butterflies involving pudding. Turns out it's butterfly puddling.
Puddling, yes. Remember?
Yeah.
They put their feet in the sand and...
No pudding involved.
No pudding.
That is such a great project for kids, and it makes your yard look beautiful.
Yeah. Butterflies need a few things. Obviously nectar from flowers, so having that in the garden is important, but they also need a water source. So we're going to provide that for them by creating a puddling station. Okay?
Okay, a puddling station.
A puddling station.
Kind of like a bird bath, except for butterflies. Okay.
Yeah, and you can see butterflies drinking out of a bird bath. So this is, safer for them. It's not so deep, and they don't need a lifeguard. So.
But no lifeguard required for butterflies with this. Right. Okay.
If you've ever seen this happening before, sometimes they'll do it in kind of like sandy, muddy areas, and they all just gather and they just go like this. And it's so peaceful. So if you're ever stressed out, you can just watch that. So we're just going to start with regular old sand. And so the sand is going to hold the moisture, but it also provides minerals for the butterflies. So they'll land and they can drink the water from the sand, but then they also absorb minerals from the sand, which is important especially for male butterflies and their fertility. We're just going to cover the whole thing with sand.
How about mine? Does this look like
It looks great. You really can't screw this up.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. So my kind of project.
So let's move this aside.
All right. I can take that.
Okay. And then if you want to grab the watering can, I just have some clear water. We're going to add.
Did you put anything in this water?
No,
Drops of anything? No. Just tap water?
Just tap water.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're just going to, you don't, whoops.
Ooh.
Hi there. We don't want it to be like a puddle. We just want to kind of moisten the sand.
Okay, moisten. And there is a little bit of standing water in yours, but it's soaking in.
It's soaking in, yeah. And I think, that's okay. There's like evaporation and things. Next, we're going to add some rocks or some places for the butterflies to land, because they can also land on the rocks and just warm themselves. Doesn't that sound nice? Just sitting on a warm rock.
This is like a spa situation for butterflies.
Like a med spa for butterflies.
I love it.
And so we're just gonna, I thought this was kind of cute elevated, or you could just have it lying right down. So whatever way you want to do it. I think I'm gonna do mine like this.
I'm gonna do mine like this.
Okay. So we're just going to take some fruit, and it doesn't matter if the fruit is like overripe or whatever, because as the fruit ripens, it releases a gas called ethylene gas. That's just what fruit does. That's what creates ripening, and that attracts the butterflies to the fruit. So we're going to make like a butterfly fruit salad.
A butterfly fruit salad?
Yeah.
I love it.
So grab some orange. I'm going to peel this nanny.
All right. Nanny, is that your official term for bananas at your house?
Yeah, nannies. You want a nanny? Yeah. So just arrange it however you want. There's not really a right or wrong way. This is a serrated knife, which actually is not so good for slicing into your hand with, but that's okay.
These are beautiful. Is this it?
That's it. We have another easy project and another way to use some of that, fruit. So we just took a simple birch pole, tied it up. We've created some hooks and things, and you can just hook your fruit slices right on the hooks, and that kind of is the same deal. But it's kind of cute to have all.
Are the bells important?
Well, I thought the bells just bring kind of like good energy to your yard, and I also thought maybe it would keep the squirrels away. I'm not sure. They'll probably.
I love this. This is so easy to do and beautiful. I can't wait to try it at home. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Coming up next on the Happi House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff, I'm back at Tonkadale Greenhouse with Jessie, learning all about microgreens. I've told you that you keep me hip and keep me up on what's going on, and I had a mystery solved when you taught me how to plant my own microgreens, because I sometimes get to go to really cool restaurants, and I've been seeing these teeny garnishes and I didn't know what they were. Mystery solved.
Mystery solved, microgreens. just the smallest version of the plants we eat.
You tried to feed me a radish and pretend like I wouldn't know, and I did.
That wasn't my idea.
I've been hearing the term microgreens all around me. I see it online on my favorite social media sites and at my favorite restaurants. So I was intrigued. I don't understand exactly what it is. Of course, anytime I'm intrigued about something green, I come to you, Jessie, at Tonkadale Greenhouse, because I know you'll be able to help me out and help me learn.
Absolutely. So we're actually today going to talk about microgreens and sprouts. So first we need to know what the difference is.
Yeah, what is the difference?
So with sprouts, you're eating the seed, the root, the stem, and it's actually called a cotyledon. So it's not even the first true leaves.
Okay.
And then with microgreens, you're eating the first true leaves. So when they come up and they form their first 2 true leaves, you're eating the first true leaves and the stems.
So is it essentially a mini version of the mature plant?
Exactly. So it's just a miniature plant.
Okay.
And you can use all types of seeds. So here we have represented radishes, Swiss chard, spinach, lettuces are great. Kind of any of those herbs and lettucey things, leafy things, the leafy greens and things that you would eat all grown up. You can eat them as minis. And actually, microgreens and sprouts have like a ton of concentrated vitamins and nutrients, up to like 40% of the actual vegetable or, resulting food product.
Yes. How is this different from seed starting? Is it the same? Or?
It's not that much different.
Okay.
It's a quicker process. So you're not growing something to transplant outdoors, you're growing something to cut and eat right there in your home.
All right, tell me how I get started.
So do you want to start with sprouts or microgreens?
I want to start with microgreens.
Okay, so let's push these babies aside. We'll do that in a bit here. So you can start with a low plastic tray of some sort. This is just something random I came up with. We have an example here using a strawberry container. You could use like your salad clam things. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, just repurpose. I love it. So, yep.
Stuff from the grocery store. I think it's like actually really ironic to grow lettuce in a lettuce container.
I love it.
We're going to plant 3 different types of greens in our container. And I've chosen some different sized seeds because I think it's also really fun, especially for kids, to see what the seeds of the food that they eat looks like.
Yes.
So we have peas here, and those obviously look like peas,
Yes.
right? This is basil, and I've mixed up both a green and a purple basil.
Nice.
And so the plants that are going to have those colored leaves are going to have extra nutrients because those are like the anthocyanins and carotenoids and things that have a lot of nutrients. So
Eat the rainbow, right?
the rainbow,
Yeah.
you got it. And then these are beets, and these beets have red leaves. So it's going to be actually kind of pretty too once it sprouts.
Before we get started with planting, can I ask what kind of soil and how you treated this?
So we just used an organic seed starting mix, so it's a little bit lighter and finer than potting soil. And I just filled the container all the way to the top, and I did wet it down already, so we're
just
already
feels
halfway
moist.
there. It's
Yes.
moist,
Yes.
moistened,
Yes.
okay? And so we're going to plant our seeds very densely, so you want them to kind of cover the whole surface, okay? So I'll just divide, and then we're just gonna pick our seeds and sprinkle them over the top, and we want to really, cover it densely. Okay?
That is full.
The
Yep.
thing that I think is really interesting is the microgreens actually taste like the vegetable or food product they become.
So even though I'm not going to grow an actual beet, you're telling me that the leaf is going to taste like a beet?
You got it. So we want to make this like dense thicket of microgreens, right? So you can't really screw this up. When you're planting outside, space ½ inch apart, thin to whatever. We don't have to worry about that stuff here, okay? Okay, and then the last step is just to cover the seeds lightly with our seed starting mix. Now if you're doing lettuces, lettuce needs light to germinate, so you won't want to cover those.
Okay.
You don't want to cover
So
those babies
if I was
up.
planting lettuce, I would just leave it without this. Okay.
Yep, so we'll just put a light sprinkling of the potting soil on top. I'll do it so you don't have to, we don't both have to get
Dirty.
dirty. I usually have gloves. What was I thinking? Okay, so
Okay.
just a light covering. That might be a little thick, but that's okay. And then we'll
Spritz it with water.
give it a little spray, spray, spray. Get it nice and damp. And then the final step is to cover it with some saran wrap, or if this has a lid, you can shut the lid And we're going to cover it for a couple of days until the seeds start to germinate. So that means they popped out of the seed and you can start to see a little green on top of the surface.
So cover it for a couple days. Then as soon as I see green, I unwrap it.
Take it off, yep.
Here's the question of the day. How do you cut this?
Well, this is the Costco special. You just...
Did you see that? I always learn so many great new things when I come here.
I know, it's just unbelievable. So we'll cover it like that.
All right.
And then when they germinate, we'll uncover this, like we have uncovered these here. And see, even these, you can see they still have the little seed on top of them. So these aren't even their first true leaves. When that seed thing goes away and you see 2 leaves, that's when it's time to harvest. So now...
Harvesting, so is that trimming them, or how do I do that?
Yeah, you would cut them down and rinse them off, clean them like you would clean lettuce. Yeah. Something like that. And so we have an assortment of microgreens here that I'm going to ask you to try and guess what they are.
Okay.
Based on the taste.
Quiz time. I'm going to try this. All right, ready?
Yes, do try that one.
I'm smelling it first. I know I'm not going to be able to guess what these are.
I think you might.
Is that a green bean? It's a pea?
Yes. You were close though, beans.
I know, it's, yeah.
Okay.
I don't eat a lot of peas in my real life, but I actually would eat this over a pea. All right, then this one. Okay.
Eating that one leaf is like eating 40 peas.
40 peas?
Well, not
40 peas in this one leaf.
Well, right? Because if the nutrients are dense down, that's probably an exaggeration, but...
The point is, there's a lot of bang for your buck. And you know what I love about this? These could easily go in the smoothies I make for my kids.
Yes, smoothies, they wouldn't even know.
Correct.
You can guess this one, come on.
Okay.
It's a leafy thing.
Okay.
Rhymes with hail.
Kale.
Got it.
Kale is so sharp when it's fully grown. This is a really great way to eat kale. Okay.
Okay, and last.
And this guy. That's lettuce, right? No.
Keep chewing.
Oh, I don't like it. Is it a rat? What is it? A radish?
You got it.
Oh, I still don't like radishes even when they're a microgreen.
But isn't it good and spicy?
It is spicy.
Delicious, right?
I love it. Jessie, I loved learning about this, and I'm definitely going to do it because I bet you anything my local grocery store would charge me a lot of money for these microgreens, and I think I can do
Just
it
a couple
on my own.
bucks. Seed packet is a couple bucks.
Thank you so much for teaching me about this. I'm sorry I still don't like radishes.
That's okay. There's still time for you.
And we ran out of time. We did not talk about sprouts. However, you're telling me it's very easy. Instructions are on the back of the package.
Super easy. Package, seed jar, sprouting lid, water.
Easy. Okay, and people can just go to thehappihouse.com. We'll post the information there.
Awesome.
Jessie, I can't wait to do my next project with you.
Me either.
Up next on The Happi House, learn how to make this adorable bird feeder wreath. A lot of our projects go off without a hitch, but we have some difficulties with some of them. There's one in particular I'm thinking of. Do you know what it is?
I think I know what you're talking about. It was the birdseed wreath.
Which became a telephone?
Which became a huge telephone. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Don't pick this up.
Why? You think it's gonna break?
Yeah, I know it's gonna break.
It's not gonna break. It's very firm.
Okay.
You said it.
Okay. You're cutting that out, right?
Hello?
No. A banana phone.
You told me not to do it. We did it anyway, of course. So, oh well.
Today I'm at Tonkadale greenhouse with Jessie, and she is going to teach me how to make a bird feeder wreath. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, I love to sit inside and watch the birds out my window, especially during the winter. It's so, just sort of like feels, I don't know, reminds you that spring might be coming at some point.
Kind of peaceful.
Yeah, it's so nice. Okay, so what are we doing here today?
Well, for the one time in my life, I got out my KitchenAid mixer just to mix birdseed. But actually, this is an improved technique because mixing it with a spoon is very arduous. So we're going to use the mixer with this paddle attachment.
It sounds like you use your mixer about as often as I use mine.
Right. But this is a
But it's
very
pretty.
good application.
Yeah. And they look nice. They're so pretty.
So we're going to start with 2 packets of gelatin
Okay.
because we need this to stick together. So here's your packets. Why don't you
Okay.
do one and I'll do one.
All right.
Gelatin.
Gelatin.
These are all things you can get at the grocery store. I did, actually, I stopped at the hardware store to get the birdseed. It was really fun because you can scoop out of the bins, and I bought these buckets. And it was just so exciting.
Bulk birdseed. Okay.
1 cup of water,
So 2 packs of gelatin.
1 cup of water,
1 cup water.
and then you're going to whisk it together while I get the next thing ready. So you're going to whisk the gelatin and water. Is this in the way?
No, it's fine. I got it.
It's not exact. Then we're going to add a 1/3 cup Caro syrup. I was thinking we could use honey, but I think there's a bit of a debate about if honey is safe for birds just because of all the reasons why, you know, like you're not supposed to give honey to babies and
yeah.
stuff. So we'll get about a 1/3 cup of Caro syrup, or light corn syrup, excuse me. We don't want to be brand.
Should I whisk this together?
Yeah, something like that. It's pretty good. So this whole recipe is very sticky. So
Sticky.
1.5 cups of flour. Do you have these measuring cups? These are the all-clad measuring cups. It's like 1.5 cups already.
already.
In 1 cup
Oh
and a half.
no, I do not have those. I don't do a lot of baking. Do you
Came with
do?
my
Do you do?
pots and pans.
Oh, do you do more baking than I do?
No. Okay, you can stop whisking now because we're going to let the mixer do its job.
Huh? Okay. I got a whisk situation going on here.
Sorry, that wasn't as smooth as I thought it would be. Okay, are we all tight here?
Yeah.
Okay, lock it down. Turn it on slow.
All right. I'm gonna do this.
Nope.
That was an accident.
Now. Okay, that looks good. Slow it down a tiny bit more.
Okay, I'm just going to the one.
Now we're going to add 64 ounces of pre-measured birdseed. This is a
All right.
fruit and nut mix that appeals to a wide range of birds. I don't claim to be a birding expert. I like to watch birds,
Yes.
but I really like to garden, and this kind of goes with gardening.
Yeah. So 64 ounces is 2 quarts, and it's just in this bucket.
8 cups, 64 ounces, 2 quarts,
Okay. Any way you measure it.
2 liters or something. Yep.
All right. So I pour this in slowly.
You might want to slow that down a tiny bit more. That's a low. Okay, that's perfect.
Okay. Pour it in.
Well, you can turn it on and pour it in. Yeah. Do it all at once, you know, like adding your dry ingredients last. See, this is the sticky part.
Okay.
So that's why we need the mixer.
All right. So that's done. I'm already sticky.
I know. That's why I made you do this. Okay, turn it off.
Okay.
Okay. That's it. That's the recipe.
All right. That seems easy enough.
So this recipe will make 2 cupcake tins or 1 bundt pan.
So right here, you've pressed it into like a muffin tin or
tin,
whatever.
yep.
And I like these heart-shaped ones.
I
You could
know.
even string these onto wire or hang them, like
Yes.
hang them in little bits by like jute or something like that.
Yes.
Okay, but we are going to make
The bundt pan.
the bundt pan recipe today, which I love. I love the way this looks. This would be great hanging from a tree. Okay,
So next, we gotta spray it down.
so spray the bundt pan so the recipe doesn't stick.
Spray your spoons. Don't touch that.
Okay.
Spray your fingers.
Go and touch it.
Other one. Give me the other.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now, let's fill her up.
With our spoons?
Yeah. Or whatever.
Here,
You
take this.
greased up your hands.
Yeah, how do
Take
I
that
get this
off.
Clearly, I've not used my mixer. Got it. All right.
I think the spoons are more important when you're doing the cupcakes, but you got to
Yeah.
have some sort of a tool.
Here, maybe you scoop and I'll hold. Yes. Okay. Ooh, this looks delicious for the birds.
I think it looks delicious for me, but I don't think humans are supposed to eat birdseed.
It is so pretty. This would be a nice gift to bring somebody to.
Yes, totally.
And again, the kids could easily be involved in this.
Oh yeah, and actually my daughter helped me when we were putting one of these together, and she loved it because it's like really easy measuring. You don't have to be like, okay, the flour has to be perfect.
Right.
You know, for a 4-year-old, This is an easy project. We're almost there. That was 64 ounces of birdseed. Okay.
Great. Okay.
So last step is just to press it down firmly. Like we need to pack it in.
Yeah, you can tell that this is really dense. It's patted down.
I'm gonna reapply.
Okay. I have never put cooking spray on my hands
Do you ever
before.
make those cornflake wreaths at Christmas time?
I do, and actually, it sticks to my hands every time, so who knew?
I take the butter and I go like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing.
Okay. So how long before this sets up?
Like overnight.
Okay, so leave this in the pan overnight and then
Yeah.
pop it out.
I mean, within a few hours, you can dump it onto like a drying rack,
Yeah.
and then it'll dry from both sides. But if you're not like going to check on it every 2 hours, I just leave it overnight.
Yeah.
And then it pops out really easy because it's so slippery.
Yeah. That was such an easy recipe and an excuse to use our stand mixers, which it sounds like we need.
Yes.
So I want to show off this adorable wreath you made using the heart shapes because it's so cute. You just use some wire, tied some ribbon. So find scraps of decorative ribbon and just put this out for the birds. I think it's so fun.
Isn't it darling?
It's amazing. Thank you so much for being with us again.
You're welcome.
Don't pick this up.
Why? You think it's gonna break?
Yeah, I know it's gonna break.
It's not gonna break. It's very firm.
Okay.
You said it.
Okay. You're cutting that out, right?
Hello.
No. A banana phone.